to start a fire. We're looking for firewood for our stove at home today. So, I figured I would do this video because it might come easy. And make sure if it's snowy like over here, make sure you don't throw your gloves in the snow. They get wet or cold and you have frostbite, and that can be bad. So make sure you always have something to start a fire.
Explain what you got.
And I got a lighter and then some dead pine tree needles. Like if they break off and fall in the air like that, they're good. And then if they have a bend to them when you go to try to break them to see if they're good. If they just bend, they aren't good. But if you go to bend them and they just snap right away, that's good.
Cluster up there. Get up under the cluster.
You see? Fire prefers to go up. So you always make sure that they'll go up so that they'll burn. So like you can see that they're gradually working their way up onto the sticks. And then if you have the right kind of wood, you can roast some marshmallows.
You gonna break some of them other sticks in there and get a bigger fire going?
Now that's what I call fire once it gets. And always make sure you do this with an adult. Starting a fire can be dangerous. So like, that's really ripping.
Better get them nice big sticks on there so it doesn't go out.
You always want to make sure to find nice dry sticks. Because the drier the better. And then like damp wood works good for going all night. Like if you're out in the woods, you always want to make sure to keep your fire out, or else you could start a whole forest fire. Ooh. So we got all our wood hauled and cut, and then I kept the fire going to where it was about that tall with wood, and it kept us warm through the whole thing. So I'm gonna show you like the basics of like how to put on a fire. So that's what the beginning part of this video is for, and now it's time for the ending. You spread it out like this all over. It's hot. And then you get it all spread out like that. Then you go and get some snow. it sounds satisfying when you're putting snow on it. And like if you're close to ice, you like in Alaska, when they're doing the ice roads, they drill holes all over in it, and then water will bubble up and make the ice thicker. So that's what we did right over here, so that we could walk across and when we're getting stuff. It might take quite a bit of loads. But if you have a bucket with you, you can always use water. And like, if you're out in the middle of nowhere with no snow, you can also use sand or dirt. Takes quite a bit of load just to put out one fire. But like if you leave it in a stack, it could catch on fire and then start a wildfire. And the world don't need more of those. There's no smoke, you'll want to at least keep pouring more and more stuff on it until there's no smoke. Then when someone comes to find you, they'll see that you've been here since the ashes. Mother lode in a tree, that's good because you always need a mother lode to keep the fire going. Because if you can find a nice big log that you don't think is hollow but you chop on it and your axe goes pretty deep into it and and that happens, you want to keep on doing it. Or like if it gets a crack in it, you want to keep on putting more and more cracks in it because that just makes it weak. See, you can see that the snow ain't melting as quick now. So the more and more that I put on it, the more and more it'll put out. Now I'm going to start scraping off the ice. You can also pick from the water beneath. Always make sure the ice is thick. Water will also help put it out quicker. See, like you can hear more of it. Like the best mixture to do when you're trying to put out a fire is like if you're close to water, then take a scoop of snow, take it over to the water, and dip it in the water. The water will wet it, and then it'll make the snow thicker and then more wet. Will also change colors like this. It'll work good for setting the fire out. Oh, that rock is pretty hot. is one of the best ways. So we just got home, and I'm just gonna get ready to unload this. But I'm just gonna say to you, remember this: if a fire doesn't want to start, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So when a fire doesn't want to start, you just go and find some dry wood, and then once you have dry wood, it works. So happy practicing, and see you next time.